Hello and welcome to Delhi Law Firm. Today we bring you a simple, practical and people-friendly analysis of a recent and highly significant judgment of the Allahabad High Court based on an extremely sensitive legal issue. This matter directly concerns personal liberty, child rights, a woman's free will, the validity of marriage and the legal limits of the Child Welfare Committee, commonly known as the CWC. Very often in society, a belief is created that whatever age is written in school records must be treated as the final truth, and on that basis alone, a person's freedom can be taken away. This judgment firmly challenges that mindset and presents a clear and strong legal perspective. Today's discussion is meant for parents, young people, lawyers, and all citizens who want to understand how the law views personal liberty and when custody is considered lawful and when it is not.
Absolutely. This case related to Srimati Rohini and her husband, where a habeas corpus petition was filed before the High Court. Habeas corpus essentially means that if a person is being unlawfully detained, the court calls for that person's physical presence and examines whether such detention is legal. In this case, Rohini was kept in a government children's home, that is a state-run girls' shelter. The key question was whether the Child Welfare Committee had the legal authority to keep her there. This question formed the core of the entire judgment.
It is very important to understand the background of this case. The petitioner stated that Rohini and her husband were married according to Hindu rites and customs. Rohini clearly stated that she had voluntarily chosen to go with her husband and that there was no pressure, force or abduction involved. However, her mother lodged an FIR invoking various provisions of the Indian Penal Code. After Rohini was recovered, a dispute arose regarding her age, which changed the entire course of events.
Yes, the age dispute is the root of this case. On one side, there were Rohini's Aadhaar card, mark sheet and medical report, all indicating that she was 18 years of age or above. On the other side, school records and a transfer certificate mentioned her year of birth as 2008, on the basis of which she was claimed to be a minor. Relying on this, the Child Welfare Committee took her into its protection and sent her to a government children's home.
This brings us to a very important legal question. Can a person be declared a child only on the basis of school records or a transfer certificate? And does the Child Welfare Committee have the authority to place an adult woman in a children's home without proper inquiry? The Allahabad High Court answered these questions very clearly and held that this cannot be done.
The court examined Section 94 of the Juvenile Justice Act 2015 in detail. This provision lays down the complete procedure for age determination. First, a date of birth certificate from the school or a matriculation certificate must be considered. If those are not available, then a birth certificate issued by a municipal authority or panchayat is to be examined. Only if these documents are unavailable can medical examination be used to determine age. The most crucial point clarified by the court was that a transfer certificate or an admission register cannot automatically be treated as a date of birth certificate.
The court further clarified that the CWC is a quasi-judicial body. This means it has a duty to examine evidence carefully, call witnesses if required, verify the reliability of documents, and then pass a reasoned order. If the CWC passes an order without applying its mind and relies only on one piece of paper, such an order cannot survive in the eyes of law.
In this case, the CWC neither summoned the school principal, nor verified the basis on which the date of birth was recorded, nor properly examined the parents, nor seriously considered the medical report. The court described this as a mechanical order, meaning an order passed without proper reasoning or application of mind. Such an order was held to be beyond jurisdiction and legally void.
The court also relied on several important judgments of the Supreme Court, which consistently uphold the principle that personal liberty is paramount. Even when a person is detained under a judicial or quasi-judicial order, a habeas corpus petition is still maintainable if that order is passed without authority, is completely illegal, or is mechanical in nature.
The court made it clear that habeas corpus is not limited only to cases of police custody. If any authority, including the Child Welfare Committee, unlawfully restrains a person, the High Court has the power and duty to intervene. This reflects the true spirit of democracy, where courts act as guardians of individual freedom.
Another crucial aspect of this judgment is the free will of an adult woman. Rohini herself told the court that she did not want to live with her parents and wished to stay with her husband. Under Indian law, once a woman is a major, she is free to decide where and with whom she wants to live. Neither parents, society, or any authority can lawfully restrain her against her wishes.
The court clearly held that when the medical report shows that a woman is 18 years or above and other materials support the same conclusion, her liberty cannot be taken away merely on the basis of doubtful school records. In such circumstances, the order of the Child Welfare Committee was not only incorrect but also a direct violation of fundamental rights.
Ultimately, the court issued a habeas corpus and directed that Rohini be released immediately from the government children home. The court further declared that she is free to go wherever she wishes and to live with whomever she chooses, including her husband.
This judgment sends a very clear message to society. The law does not permit the confinement of a woman merely because of a paper-based dispute regarding age. The role of the Child Welfare Committee is to protect children, not to suppress the freedom of adult women.
This judgment also teaches us that every governmental and quasi-governmental authority must act strictly within the limits of its legal powers. Any action taken beyond those limits cannot withstand judicial scrutiny.
This discussion is especially important for families where disputes arise over the marriage or relationships of adult daughters and parents attempt to use legal mechanisms to control their choices. The court has made it clear that the law cannot be used as a tool of coercion or control.
If you or someone you know is facing a situation where an adult woman or man is being unlawfully restrained, or where the Child Welfare Committee, police, or any other authority has acted beyond its powers, timely and correct legal advice becomes extremely important.
Delhi Law Firm is committed to providing proper legal guidance in such matters. We handle habeas corpus petitions, matrimonial disputes, child rights, women's rights, and issues of constitutional liberty across India.
If you require legal assistance or advice on any such issue, you may contact us. Delhi Law Firm handles cases across India. Our website is www.dellylawfirm.news. We remain dedicated to protecting your rights and your freedom through the rule of law.